Okay, so let's start with the topics. Just a second. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any doubt in TCP three-way handshake?
No, sir.
Okay. So we're going to start with TCP IP header. So TCP header basically, and we already know about like IP header is 20 bytes. Okay. TCP header is also going with 20 bytes. Okay. So in TCP header, it is very simple. Source port, destination port, whatever the source is, like you are sending the data, so your IP is source IP. Sorry, source port, whatever you are using the port, and the destination port on which port the data is going to be received. Okay. Sequence number is adding like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packets you are sending. So every packet having one sequence number. So TCP is adding the sequence number. If sometimes you are sending a bulk of emails, okay, so every email having one of the sequence number assigned by the TCP, okay, or any data you are sending any data with the different like within the network or outside of the network. So your TCP is going to assign one of the sequence number, okay, and acknowledgement number is also there. Like if something is acknowledged, so it is also assigned by the TCP header. So what is the acknowledgement number? Like shared by the TCP sender and also from the receiver. So whatever the receiver is sending, so that the exact number is matching. So then it is denoted as acknowledgement. Just like it assigned a five acknowledgement number. Okay. And receiver when receives this acknowledgement number, so they can match the five. Okay. Same numeric number they can match. So this is for acknowledgement number, and main part is the flags. So we are using the six flags, okay, and this is going to be asked in interview. Like what is the flag? And sometimes like they are just asking the name, what the like the flags used in the TCP. So mostly they are asking these things only. Okay, so we'll see what is the flex. Then the checksum again, it is for the error free delivery. So we are using the checksum, and the urgent pointer. There is a padding. So urgent pointer is like whenever some like there are a lot of queue. Just like if you are transmitting the data and the traffic is busy, and sometimes there is just something that is urgently we require to share. Okay, so on that time the urgent pointer is going to be one, and it is the packet is sending on the urgent basis. Okay, so just like a speed post, if you are sending the like general post, a lot of things are going on, but when you are attaching one of the speed post mark, so that is going to be delivered very frequently. So that's why it is showing some of the urgency, and it's going to be delivered first. So that is assigning the priority of this packet. Okay, and one thing for the sequence number source port, that is okay. Acknowledgement number we already see, checksum already see, and yeah. So data offset. So data offset is also like it decide the header length. Okay. So like it is the minimum 20 bytes of data, and it going to be like end with some of the actual exact numbers. So 4 bytes of multiplied that just yesterday we see. So also on this part in the TCP packet also it is a 4 bytes. Okay, sorry, 4 bits, and 1 bit is multiplied by 4. So it's going to be like maximum 32 bits of data they are providing. So these are not the things you are going to be see, but just focus on the flags. Okay, sometimes they are asking the urgent pointer, why we are using urgent pointer. So these are the details of the flags. Okay, 6 flags we are using, and sync, acknowledgement, finish, reset, push, and urgent. So you need to know about these things. Synchronization, it is used to first step of connection establishment, establishment phase, or three-way handshake process between the two hosts. So firstly, you are sending some of the TCP packets, so it's going started with the sync only. So that is a sync flag. Okay. Then acknowledgement, it is used to acknowledge the packet which are successfully received by the host. So then the finish, it is used to request a connection termination. So whenever your data transmission is going to be completed, so then the fin flag is going to be sent. Like even you are sending some of the data and someone is receiving, but till the time they are not in, you are not indicating like this is the last packet. So how they are aware like this is the last packet? So that's why in last packet they are sending with the fin acknowledgement, sorry, fin flag of 1. So that's why they are send like the receiver can understand like this is the last packet. Any doubt? Sync, acknowledgement, and finish.
No,
Is
sir.
it
No.
okay? So like you know about the DLP? Anyone?
No, sir.
Yes. Mm.
Okay.
Data loss prevention.
Yeah. So DLP is a tool, technology basically. There are a lot of tools into the DLP. So DLP is whenever you are transmitting some data, or like if some attacker attacks into your system, okay. So what is their intention? Definitely they are trying to capture some of the data from your system, right? So DLP is going to prevent from those type of things. Like whatever your data is sending, so it is going to be captured from DLP. So even you are sending 1 byte of data, so DLP is capturing. So maximum organizations are having the filter into DLP, and they are filtering the traffic. Like if you are sending something, some data, the data transfer alerts you are your SOC team is getting on that part. So your SIEM is also associated with the DLPs, and like someone is transferring or downloading some of the data, so it is going to be highlight and going to be raise one alert. So sometimes there are something we have the 5 MB of data is like 1 to 5 MB of data is going to be passed, but more than the 5 MB of data you are sending, so it's going to be generate one alert. Also, whenever you are downloading something and that is a big file, so also that is going to be generate a alert. And even if you are downloading some of the 2 MB and 3 MB, that is under that range, but still that is having some of the malicious and suspicious type of content, weird file extension. So also that is going to be raise one alert. Okay. So your EDR and your DLP both are very sensitive in terms of data. So whatever you are transferring the data, so they are going to be captured. Okay. Sometimes employee when they resigned and they are transmitting their personal files, they're trying to capture some of the reports, some of the like some of the document from the organization. So but DLP is going to be implemented there also. So whenever you are going to be put the resignation, so also you are going to be monitored from the DLP team. Like when you're putting the resignation, so organization is going not going to trust on you, and they are capturing their like your activity, like whatever you're transferring the data, that is going to be captured. Okay. So whenever you are putting the resignation from your portal, so definitely after that you are not not supposed to transfer any data, just your salary slip, your ITR, and such type of like offer letter and resignation letter. So this type of data you can transfer, like that you can explain. But even you are trying to like forward some of the files, some of the SOPs and some of the internal data, so that is going to be like having the big escalations. So a lot of people we find out, like one of the our employee, he is sending all the SOPs to him. So we found it like even after the 6 month of also the time even you released from the organization, you went away, like again you are getting those type of attack alerts, and your organization is going to connect with you. So कभी भी ये सब काम मत करना, like after putting the resignation, not going to transfer the any data. Okay. So every time, like that is auto like or in autopilot mode. So whenever you are putting the resignation and that is accepted from the portal, that is also going to be like monitor your transfer of. So your ID is going to be monitored over there. Okay. Then reset. Uh,
Okay, sir.
it it is used to terminate the connection if reset sender feels something is wrong with the TCP connection, or that is a conversation should not exist. Like sometimes the network issue and some connections, like some of the packets that is missing. So on that time, the reset is going to be flagged. Like this is we are not getting the sequence of data. We are not getting the full length of the data. So on that time, this reset flag is going to be on. Okay. So mostly when you are resetting something, okay, anywhere, so there is a flag that in computer environment, whenever you are resetting something, so there is a flag, and in terms of 0 and 1. So if the reset value is 0, so there is normal, everything is normal. When we are resetting something, so there is a flag is going to be turned as 1, and it's going to be reset. Means whatever you are transmitting and you're doing something, so it's going to be reset due to like you have turned on the reset flag. So this is most widely you are going to use. Okay. So in terms of whenever you are going to handle any DLP in your SOC, or proof point also you are going to handle. So there are a lot of emails that is having the attachment. So we have categorized like your, even you are using proof point or Microsoft Defender. So both the tools having the this concept, and they are categorizing the data in terms of security. Okay, this is informational, this is something low severity, high severity. So they have a lot of like framework. So on that parameter, a lot of parameters they are following, and on that basis they are categorizing their data. So even sometimes you share the Excel file. Have you shared any Excel file and got any alert, like you are sharing something wrong, or ID or password, anything from security team? Like sometimes you saved some of the password, right, in Notepad or in Excel format. Okay. And suddenly you got one of the ping from the security people, like you have saved some of the password on your Notepad on or in Excel. So how they are going to be aware these things? Any idea?
No, sir.
Okay. So just a second. Okay, so in your CrowdStrike or any EDR tool, that is having some of the behavior analysis. Okay, so that is scanning your system, like it is scheduled on 24 by 7, but once in a 24 hours or once in a week. So on that basis, It's going to be capture all those things that is in the format of the password, like some of the 11 character in which alphanumeric and one or two is special characters. So even it is not the password and you captured, you saved in the notepad or any Excel, so it is going to be captured. So such type of intelligent tool that is. Okay. And if you are something like I'm pinging you my password or ID over the team, so it is also going to be captured. Any link I shared with you over team, so that is also going to be captured. So being a security people, like know these things and never going to be share these things. Okay. Sometimes we are auditing some of the organization. Okay. And in that audit, like to check the employee intelligence, like they we trying to say them directly, हम लोग उसको डायरेक्टली इस बात को बोलते हैं कि लाइक शेयर द पासवर्ड, एंड अगर उसने शेयर कर दिया सो कंप्लायंस के अंदर आ जाएगा. ओके. सो दैट इज अंडर ISO 27001. We are auditing or sometimes any other ISO format audits are going on. So those employee are getting like mail from the HR or like going with the lot of trainings part and all. एंड उस ऑडिट में ये डिपेंड करता है लाइक विच टाइप ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यू आर डीलिंग विद. सो वहाँ पे जब भी ऐसा काम मिले तुम्हें ऑडिट वगैरह की, तो वहाँ पे लाइक वट एवर दे हैव सेव्ड इन ऑन देयर डेस्कटॉप, सो ऑल्सो यू आर गोइंग टू बी ऑडिट दोज फाइल्स एज वेल. लाइक यू कैन ओपन द फाइल एंड ट्राई टू कैप्चर लाइक what type of data he can save, like any user ID and password. So like password is much prohibited, like they are not going to save password anywhere in system. Okay, just on more sensitive part is like not going to save the password for the admin and password. So mostly that is like admin password is not going to be covered under the policy, like 3 month of password reset cycle and all. So that server admin is like not expiring password. So such type of password we are setting, and we are not expect any employee they can save their password. So these are some of the data formats and some of the audit formats, like what the organizations nowadays following. Okay.
Sir, which tool?
Tool is any tool. You can go with the CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike also capture those type of details.
Yes.
And like if you are going with the like manual auditing, say audit is not going to happen with any tool. So you are again you are going to be check the notepad, like just open the notepad.
Yes, sir.
uh, just open the notepad whatever I saved. Okay. So it is showing
Yes, sir.
here. So just open the notepad. You are not going to their personal file, check their personal data. But if the system belongs to organization, so we are not expecting any employee who can store their personal data, right? सो
Yes, sir.
आपको ये पर्सनल डेटा के लिए सिस्टम है ही नहीं. सो वाई यू आर
Yes, sir.
सेविंग द पर्सनल डेटा, सो देर दैट इज ऑल्सो नॉट अ गुड प्रैक्टिस. सो उस केस पे भी आप उसको फ्लैग कर सकते हो, लाइक दिस यूजर सेव देयर पर्सनल फोटोज, पर्सनल डेटा, पर्सनल ईमेल आईडीज. सो आप उस चीज़ को मार्क कर सकते हो. बट
Yes.
कभी भी ये सारी चीज़ें ऑडिट लाइक मोस्टली सिक्योरिटी पीपल का तो ऑडिट इस टाइप का नहीं होता है. बट इफ यू आर द पार्ट ऑफ दोज टीम, ओके, सो आप डायरेक्टली आपको कोई एक टीम मिल जाएगी रैंडम, इवन एक HR की आपको टीम मिल गई, या एक कोई भी फाइनेंस का कोई एक टीम मिल गया, आप उसमें किसी एक एम्प्लॉय को अपने आप पिक कर लो. 10 लोगों की ID मिली, किसी एक को रैंडम यू कैन पिंग एंड लाइक से आई एम ऑडिटिंग सम ऑफ दी. आप ऑडिट का कुछ बता दो, जो भी आप जिस फॉर्मेट पे काम कर रहे हो, and you can get the shared screen and you can like go with 2 or 3 things, like go with their desktop, their notepad, their Excel, and try to capture these things. So ये
Yes, sir.
फॉर्मेट डिपेंड करता है लाइक कौन सा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन किस बेसिस पे किस टाइप की ऑडिट करवा रही है. So I am aware once I was with British Telecom. So I was auditing one of the organization internally. So that organization only, and we found a lot of contact numbers, lot of passwords, like किसी एक एम्प्लॉय ने पूरे अपने जितने उसके टूल्स थे, सारे टूल्स का लॉगिन एंड पासवर्ड दे हैव सेव्ड ऑन नोटपैड।
और नोटपैड और एक्सेल।
नोटपैड।
ओके सर।
So but that is also not like not you can't save these things। आपको जब भी पासवर्ड मिलेगा, सो आप डायरेक्टली किसी रिपोजिटरी में होगा वहां से उठाओ, या तो सीक्रेट सर्वर एक टूल होता है, तो आप सीक्रेट सर्वर से उठाओ, दैट इज कम्स अंडर द आईएएम टीम। तो वहां से आप पासवर्ड उठाओ। So
Yes,
like every time they are updating their password in some of the encrypted format। Okay, so but you are not going to save these type of passwords। बहुत लोगों की मैंने एक बार मैं पार्ट था वहां पे, किसी एक डायरेक्टर ने अपनी एक फाइल को रख दिया था, पासवर्ड लेवल की फाइल थी, बैच फाइल, एंड लाइक ही लॉस्ट देयर जॉब। सो काफी क्रिटिकल होता है पासवर्ड के मामले में। और अभी लाइक डार्क वेब पे अगर जो भी पासवर्ड हमारे लीक होते हैं, ओके, तो कुछ टीआई टूल्स हैं। सो वो टीआई टूल्स हमें इंटेल कर देते हैं, लाइक क्राउड स्ट्राइक भी हमें इंटेल कर देता है, देर इज वन ऑप्शन कि हमारा किस एम्प्लॉय का पासवर्ड लीक हुआ है। लीक मीन्स इस पर्टिकुलर एम्प्लॉय का पासवर्ड लीक नहीं हुआ होगा, ओके, जस्ट लाइक यू केप्ट लाइक पासवर्ड एट द रेट वन, ओके, दैट इज वेरी नॉर्मल पासवर्ड।
यस
ओके,
सर, वेरी इजी।
वेरी इजी। बट ये पासवर्ड लीक हो चुका है, ठीक है, अगर मेरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में 10,000 पीपल है, ठीक है, अब 10,000 लोगों में किसी एक ने अगर सेट कर दिया पासवर्ड एट द रेट वन, ये हमारे सारे जो भी लिमिट है पासवर्ड की मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेंट वो मीट कर रहा है, ओके। बट जब भी किसी कोई ये पासवर्ड रखेगा, तो ये एक्सेप्ट कर लेगा टूल, हमारा जो एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी है ये पासवर्ड को एक्सेप्ट कर लेगा, यू हैव चेंज योर पासवर्ड।
यस।
बट वो एक और फ्लैग करेगा हमें, लाइक दिस इज द लीक्ड पासवर्ड। से ये डार्क वेब पे ये पासवर्ड ऑलरेडी लीक हो चुका है। सो व्हाट हैकर्स आर डूइंग, दे कैप्चर द लीक पासवर्ड, एंड कहीं से तुम्हारी आईडी मिल जाएगी, सो दे आर ट्राइंग टू मैच योर पासवर्ड, लॉट ऑफ टूल्स दे आर यूजिंग, एंड ऑन दैट बेसिस यू आर गोइंग टू लॉस्ट योर कंट्रोल, राइट। सो इसीलिए लीक पासवर्ड पे भी काफी बहस होती है अभी भी इंटरनली, लाइक ये नहीं है कि हम उस चीज को नहीं रख सकते हैं, बट उस चीज को अवॉइड करना है। सो नाउ डेज अब कंपनीज ने एक नई पॉलिसी बनाई है, लाइक 11 कैरेक्टर को हटा के 13 कैरेक्टर किया, ओके, टू बिल्ड योर स्ट्रॉन्ग पासवर्ड। उसके बाद 2 स्पेशल कैरेक्टर्स भी रिक्वायर्ड। पहले एक स्पेशल कोई भी हैश डाल दो, डॉलर डाल दो, बट नाउ इज वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग टू पासवर्ड, सॉरी 2 स्पेशल कैरेक्टर्स एंड 13 डिजिट पासवर्ड, एंड देयर शुड बी वन numeric value also, and alphanumeric be required also। We have no any repetition of words, like if you are sending a b c d, so that is not going to be happen। सो ए के बाद आप बी ले नहीं सकते, आर के बाद एस ले नहीं सकते। सो इस टाइप की पॉलिसीज एक हम लोगों ने अभी क्रिएट करी है, बट अगेन आफ्टर 1 or 2 years इट्स ऑल्सो गोइंग टू एक्सपायर, वी नीड टू सेट द न्यू पॉलिसी, राइट, बिकॉज बहुत सारे पासवर्ड इसमें से भी लीक हो जाएंगे, ओके।
यस सर।
सो
यस।
वहां पे इन टूल्स पे इन सब फ्लेक्स की काफी वैल्यू होती है, ओके। तो जब भी आप डीएलपी पे थोड़ा काम करोगे तो इन सब चीजों की थोड़ी सी जरूरत पड़ेगी, ओके। Then after push, it tells the receivers the process these packets as they are received instead of buffering them। Like जब भी कोई रिसीव करोगे ट्रैफिक, सो ये बफर वगैरह की जो सिस्टम्स हैं उस सब से थोड़ी सी ये रहेगा इसमें। एक सेकंड। Okay. Okay, so push, we are looking at the push. It tells the receiver to process these packets as they are received instead of buffering them. So what is it is saying, like when the push button is on, push flag is on, so it denotes that like sender is sending the next packet. ओके, सो अगर रिसीवर हमारा बिजी है डेटा को प्रोसेस करने में, सो ये एक पुश बटन शेयर कर देता है साथ में, लाइक कि जो सेंडर है वो डेटा सेकंड पैकेट सेंड कर दे और यहाँ पे बफरिंग ना हो। ओके, सो लाइक एक्नॉलेजमेंट की अभी जब भी एक्नॉलेजमेंट पहुंचे या ना पहुंचे, लाइक कई बार क्या होता है कि हमें हर पैकेट के साथ एक्नॉलेजमेंट नहीं मिलता है टीसीपी में भी, लाइक ड्यू टू हैवी ट्रैफिक एंड समटाइम्स लाइक अर्जेंट पैकेट्स आर सेंडिंग। सो ऑन दैट टाइम पुश बटन इज वर्किंग ऑन दोज थिंग्स एंड इट डिनोट्स लाइक सेंडर इज सेंडिंग द नेक्स्ट पैकेट। ओके, सो इसलिए पुश बटन को पुश फ्लैग हमारा ऑन होता है। And urgent is like data inside the segment with urgent one flag is forwarded to application layer immediately, even if there are more data to be given to the application layer. So TCP IP हमारा नेटवर्क लेयर में काम करता है। ओके, सो ओके ओके, सॉरी टीसीपी ये हमारा ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर में काम करता है, नॉट इन द नेटवर्क लेयर। सो दिस इज द फोर्थ लेयर ऑफ द एप्लीकेशन। तो ये फोर्थ लेयर में काम करता है एज अ ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर। ओके, बाकी जो पेलोड का पार्ट है, सो डेटा का पार्ट है, तो डेटा 60 बाइट्स तक हम इसमें भी जा सकता है। सो इसमें कोई ये नहीं रहता, लाइक फॉर लार्ज डेटा ट्रांसफर वी आर नॉट यूजिंग, फॉर फास्टर डेटा ट्रांसफर वी आर नॉट यूजिंग टीसीपी पैकेट, वी आर यूजिंग द यूडीपी। सो यूडीपी को हम बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरटेन नहीं करेंगे। ओके, and one or two things. Okay, TCP flags. Now OSI models are there. Okay. So any doubt in the TCP packets, TCP headers?
No, sir.
Okay. Mhm. Okay, next we are going to discuss the OSI model. So I think this is the first thing every student is like in BTech or MCA, they are in networking, they are going to be learn. So this is widely used, and open system interconnection, it stands for, and it proposed by the ISO, International Standard Organization. Just a second here. Hello. Yeah, sorry guys. Actually I got a call. So okay. OSI. So it's having the seven layer. So am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
It's having seven layers. So like start with the one. So last on the physical layer is the first layer and application layer is the seventh layer. So upper three is the software layer. So you are going to see all layer of attacks. Okay. And involvement of all the layers. So mostly the application layer because a lot of application the peoples are using. So on that part, you are going to see a lot of involvement of the application layer. The transport layer is the heart of OSI layer and network layer. So mostly you are going to be see all these IP that belongs to the network layer, routings that all from the network layer, and the application that firewall is forwarding all those traffics and allowing something denied. So all those things you are going to see in the application layer, presentation layer, and the presentation layer mostly is having the like how the data is going to be present, like what's their extension. So let's see in details. In the hardware layer, like a lot of routers we are connecting to the network layer, switches we are connecting to the data link layer, and the physical layer, all the hub, landing parts, so all these things in these three layers in last. So that's why it's called the hardware layer. Okay. These are some of the details, like starting with the physical layer. It is responsible for the actual physical connection between the devices like hub, Bluetooth, and these are the protocols that is used. And data link, it is the data link layer responsible for the node to node delivery. So like it is also having the MAC, so media access control, and logic link layer. So these are not, we are not going to discuss in details, but it is framing, error control, and flow control. So these are the things happening in the data link layer also. So switch is the device that is we are using in the data link layer. That is the layer 2 device. Sometimes switches are also working as a three layer 3 as well. So, but we are considering as of now the switches under the two layer before like whatever the new type of architecture is not in the market. So as of now, a lot of intelligence switches are nowadays. Okay, from Cisco and some other vendors. And the packaging concepts are there in the networking, and it's the network layer works for the transmission of data from one host to the other and located in different networks, take care of the packets routing, and like all the firewalls, routers, IPS. So these are the intelligence device. They are having their routing table, their firewall rules. Okay, IPS is having some of the rules. So these are the intelligent device, and these are fully based on the IP. So we use this in the layer third network layer, all based on the packets. So we see already that IP packet header, TCP packet header. So these all belongs to this like packeting part. So packets are going to be delivered, and also these are the protocols. RIP is the routing protocol for the routers. OSPF is the routing protocol for the routers. Okay. DSCP is IP provider, like domain host control protocol, and the IP is internet protocol. So these all are belongs from the network layer. Okay. In the transport layer, like it provides reliable message delivery from process to process. So all the flows like the TCP and UDP. So basically these are the main example of the transport layer. So these are forwarding your data. So how your data is forwarding, and it is also responsible for error control and flow control. So all checksums and those things also used in the transport layer. Okay. ensures that messages are transmitted in the order in which they are sent and there are no duplicate of the data. So this is only happened in the TCP, not in the UDP. Okay. So both with acknowledgement, secure and non-secure. So both are the things happened in the transport layer. And session is the layer is responsible for the establishment of the connection, maintenance, sessions, authentication, and also ensures the security. So session, whatever like how much the TTL, so time to leave is going to be decided by the session layer. So if they are making any connection, so they are assigning some of the time frame. Okay. And presentation layer is basically it's formatting of the data. So also in the translation, encoding, decoding, compression, encryption, decryption. So all the formats some image format is like JPEG, MPEG. So these are all are the part of the presentation layer. Okay. And application layer is basically interface between the user and computer. So all the applications any application you are using like Outlook or any other applications, so that are directly interacting with your computer and user, so that comes under the application layer. So all the applications that you are using, so it directly connecting with the we can consider it on the application layer. So some of the protocols like HTTP, SMTP, so these comes under the application layer. Okay. So these are some of the details you can go with that. So mostly the people are asking like the names of these, and sometimes they are asking regarding the network layer and application layer, because sometimes these are something they required every time. Nothing much into this. So some of the example, these are uh, imaginary example, so it is not going to happen in this format only, but yeah, sometimes we can consider it in this format. Okay. So let's discuss how email flows between sender and receiver using the OSI model. Some email you are sending, so how it going to be delivered. Okay. Sender uses an application like Outlook, just we discussed, to compose and send the email. So some, if you are opening an Outlook and you trying to send some of the email, so directly you are interacting with one of the application, and that's why it comes under the application layer. Okay. And then the email is encoded, encrypted, and compressed because you require the secure delivery, and these all are like compressed. The formatting is decided if there is a word file, PDF file, or any other things, so that is in presented, and it compressed. So all those things happen in the presentation layer. Okay. The sending server initiate the connection between with the receiver server. So what once you see the email gateways and email gateways from sender side, from receiver side, so you are going to see how the email is transferred from one mail server to another mail server. Okay. So whenever you are sending something, so your sender email server is going to be establish one of the connection with the receiving server, and that server to server communication, and that is in the format of the TCP. Okay. The entire email flows is done error free, receiving acknowledged. So acknowledgement you are going to be received, so it comes under the transport layer, and like in TCP there is a acknowledgement and all those things happen, and it comes under transport layer. Okay. Each packet will be routed from the sender mail server to recipient mail server. Uh, server to server communication also, there is a routing concept. Like if I sent one of the email to the particular person, so that mail is going to be received from that particular person only. Like this is not going to be delivered to everyone. Okay. So that is decided by the network layer. Like whatever the routings are there, like whatever I have shared, so like on which IP it needs to deliver. So all those things decided by the network layer. Okay. And node to node transmission happens using the next hop MAC address, like under when the packet comes in within your organization, and then after like a lot of switches VLANs are there, So for particular team, particular member, it can be decided by the switch, like under which VLAN that user is available, and on which mailbox we have to deliver this. So this comes under the hop to hub delivery. Okay, so MAC address is also associated, like on which MAC address the user logged in. So IP and match, there is a combination. So all those things is considered there, and all the data transmitted as beat through cables or wireless signals, so that all physical interconnections under the physical layer. So that's why these are the some of the imaginary part, and these are actual walking, but not we can say like this is happening in the practical way, because a lot of transmission technologies are enhanced. So in terms of lot of mail gateways, mail exchange server we have established, so they all have some of the encryptions, some of the data filtration, so a lot of things are there. Okay, but you can go with this example, and like everyone can understand is very easily. So if someone is asking, like provide some of the example that denotes like the all the layers from 1 to 7, so you can go with these things, this example. Any confusion into this flow?
No.
No, sir.
Okay, so let's lastly, like on other recipient side, the data moves from cable to user machine, where the presentation layer will take care of the decoding, decrypting, and decompressing the data. Finally, the Outlook application will display the message to the recipient. So again, like whenever you are sending the data, okay, so like here you started with application layer, but again here the user is going to be, and the receiver part is also going to be used the presentation layer and application layer. So a lot of things happened on their way as well. So this is like the imaginary all the like framework, any framework you are going to be used, or so all these things are imaginary part, so you can just imagine these things are happening, but in exactly like all those exact part is not happening on the time, because you end with the physical layer. Again, the application layer, user opens the application, it delivers into the formatting part. So going to be change the format, or like how to present the exact format. So this is happening with the presentation layer and application layer. So a lot of things, but you can go with this example to someone like who are going to be understand. Okay. Then after
Okay,
we
sir.
have only TCP IP models and commonly used port. Okay. So one more model, that is OSI and TCP IP model, I think. Okay. Yeah. TCP IP model is proposed by the DoD, like Department of Defense, US, and they are having only 4 layer. Okay, so these all are the, this is a logical layer, as I told you. These all are the logical layer, but in practical way, you are going to be use the TCP/IP model. But why we are understanding the OSI model? Because this is a base. So whenever the started the communicating part, there the all the like data transmission part is started with the OSI model. But TCP IP model, what is happening? Like all upper software layers are included into the application layer. So that is called the data layer. Okay. Then of the transport layer is same. Network layer is called internet layer. Okay. And these two are again mix up, and it's called the link and network interface. So network interface you can go with. So these are the 4 layers that in practical way nowadays we are using. Okay. So upper all the working like application, like user interface, if user is interfacing with any application, the presentation part, like the doc and any format is decided, any encoding decoding things are going to be happen, any encryption happen. So these all are coming under the application layer. So whatever the session is going to be decided, like the TTL values going to be decided, so all those things happened in the application layer in TCP IP model, and this is practically happening. Okay, transport layer is only routed the traffic, like is with the TCP, is with some other part, some other other protocol they are using. So it happens with the transport layer, like how the data is transmitting. So it is routed, basically routing the traffics. And internet part, like how the packets are, like it's breaking the segments in the small packets, and the small packets they are assigning the packet number, acknowledgement number, so whatever we see in the header part. So these all things happening in the internet layer, and data is going to be delivered. Okay. And the same working for the data link and physical layer. So all the interconnection MAC level of activity, like switching, VLAN creations, and segregating some of the big team into the smaller size with the use of the VLANs and other part. So these all are going to be happen with the network interface. Okay, any doubt, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, so we have some of the commonly used port. Okay, you need to remember these things very frequently. I'm saying, because some of the rapid fire questions they are asking, like what is the RDP port, what is the telnet port, okay, what is the DNS port. Okay, so you need to remember these are the like all important port number I captured. Okay, so FTP 2021. So it's in the sequence, like you can take the screenshot and you can paste it. The FTP part is 2021. Again, the telnet 23, SSH 22. So all these are very important. HTTPS and HTTP. These are the very important where these are. HTTPS, these are the secure port 443, and HTTP is port 80, where I mentioned port 80. Yeah, HTTPS, sorry, HTTP port 80. So these two you are going to see widely used. Port 2021 for FTP, like file transfer and other those type of activity under this. So you are going to these port numbers again and again. For port scanning part, a lot of ports are going to be scanned. So on that alerts, you are going to see the port number. Okay, DNS type of alerts when happen, so you're going to see what ports it happened, 53 or not. The syslog, so whenever you are capturing some of the logs from different log sources, so this is going to be happen via syslog. Okay, so 514 port is very useful. Okay, we are going to use this 514 port in Splunk. Okay, and yeah, so these are the ports you can remember. These are some of the command you are going to be used on daily basis. ipconfig all. Okay, for DNS server to checking the default gateway DSCP enabled or not. So these things you are going to be used on daily basis. Okay, ping command. So ping is basically the ICMP command. Okay, I mentioned ICMP or not? CMP. Definitely, I should mention the ICMP. Okay, this is not there. So ping is the ICMP command. So you are going to use the ping, telnet, okay, netstat, and so you are going to see the open port for the check the open port for the machine. So using the netstat and command. So these are the some of the basic networking part we discussed. Okay, And now we are going to, I will provide the question list of the around 50 or 100 questions for networking. And for homework part, I told you to learn one of the protocols, like any one or two protocols. You can go with the routing protocols. Okay. Some of the devices in details you can uh, learn. I think there is a slide. No. Okay. And I will provide the PPT, the question list. And if you have any doubt, we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. Anything you want to ask?
No, sir. Sir,
What's the system configuration you are having as of now?
sir, AMD Ryzen 5, AMD graphic card.
Okay, so RAM is 8 GB or 16
नहीं
GB.
sir, 16
Okay,
and 512
good, good.
storage.
What's about you, Pooja? I think she is not there. Okay, because we are going to run the Splunk in your base system. Okay, we are going to simply install and
Yes, sir.
try to. I have some of the captured log, so try to pull that log and going to analyze how we can analyze that. Trying to create some of the rules. Okay, try to design some of the dashboard and reporting part. We captured some of the report. So these things we are going to understand in the SIEM, and SIEM is the main tool that the SOC team is using. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so we'll start. So tomorrow
Sir,
you guys are
tomorrow is,
available or?
sir, I will always available.
Yeah, okay, okay. So tomorrow we'll update you. Okay. So I hope by next week I'm not available for 2 or 3 days. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So by next week, I think 31st and 1 and 2. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And tomorrow I'm available, but let's see the institute timings and all. Is it fine to work tomorrow or not? Okay.
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है मतलब ये मतलब जो ये कोर्स है ये कब तक चलेगा 2 मंथ्स ओनली
हाँ, 2 months, maximum 2 months.
तो उसमें हमें सारे टूल्स और उसके अंदर रूल्स कैसे इंप्लीमेंट करने हैं ओवरऑल पता लग जाएंगे
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ.
तो सर मतलब सर जॉब होगी वो रिमोटली होगी वर्क फ्रॉम होम या मतलब ऑफिस
ये तो डिपेंड करता है, लाइक डिपेंड करता है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के ऊपर. सो मोस्टली शॉप में क्या है कि वर्क फ्रॉम होम और हाइब्रिड मोड ही है. ओके.
ओके सर ओके
तो मैक्सिमम टाइम ये हाइब्रिड है, ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको फिजिकली अवेलेबल होना पड़ेगा. बट लॉट
हम्म
ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं ऐसी जो सॉक रूम उनके हैं ऑलरेडी. तो सॉक रूम
यस
एक
सर
प्रॉपर रूम होता है जहाँ पे लॉट ऑफ एलईडीज, लॉट ऑफ मॉनिटरिंग स्क्रीन्स आर देयर. सो यू नीड टू
यस
मॉनिटर द अलर्ट्स फ्रॉम देयर ओनली. सो वैसा नहीं है अभी. अभी के मार्केट में ऐसा है कि आपको वर्क फ्रॉम होम मोस्टली मिल जाती है. और
ओके
कौन से लोकेशन से बिलोंग करते हो?
सर दिल्ली
ओके. तो
आनंद विहार
दिल्ली में तो लाइक मैक्सिमम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन गुड़गांव और नोएडा में ही है.
हम्म
हम्म. ओके गाइस. सो अगेन फिर मिलते हैं.
ओके
ओके, बाय बाय.